Arsenal play Crystal Palace on Saturday at the ass crack of dawn here on the East Coast, and even worse on the West Coast. Glenn will actually be there. He will be at the Emirates.
Yay.
He will be watching live for the first time, I do believe, in London, ever. First time ever watching the Arsenal play a meaningful match. That's if he can actually figure out getting himself out of the airport, getting to his hotel, getting on the underground, getting himself to the stadium. All of this while he is so incredibly high, he may go into orbit.
Oh, my God.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're probably going to do some mid-season awards too, because Ryan just threw that idea out at me, and I like it. So let's have some fun today, shall we? Yo, how's it? 7 people in the live chat, and I'm going to get this out there real quick. I want everybody in the live chat to think of some questions that you have for Glenn.
I'll be right back.
Okay. And here we go. This is what he's going to do while he's there. He's going to be at the game. I'll be right back. He's just going to disappear. Anyway, if you're in the live chat, think about some questions that you have for Glenn for his trip. Questions in general. We're going to have a little fun today. There's not really. We'll talk a little bit about Crystal Palace. I think we're going to do some mid-season awards and really just kind of. I don't know. I don't know what Ryan has planned for Glenn. I'm going to roast him because
I have nothing. Nothing.
Those of you who have seen the movie The Terminal with Tom Hanks. This is kind of how I see his trip going. So if you've never seen the movie, Tom Hanks is he's from another country called Cracovia. And he comes to New York, JFK, and he can't leave the airport because while he's on the plane to New York, his country breaks out into civil war, and the United States doesn't recognize his country as a country. So he basically shows up at JFK, and he's not allowed to leave because his passport is like he has his passport, but it's like it's not valid because the country, whatever. I don't know. It's a diplomatic thing. I think Glenn will be so high when he gets to Heathrow that he's not going to be able to figure his way out of the airport, and he's just going to be stuck there for 5 days. But anyway, we'll get to that in a little bit. Ryan, how are you?
Good. Okay.
Glenn, is it squeaky bum time yet? Because you have 1 sleep left.
No, I've been nervous. So nervous. Like ever since I woke up this morning, I've been trying to get on UK time. I got my aspirin here. Can I show you my aspirin? So I got. Just hang on a second. Yeah,
Why
so
are you showing us aspirin?
It's not the aspirin bottle. It's what I pulled out of the bottle.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm going to England, UK, however you say it, for the first time. I'm really excited. I'm going to the Crystal Palace game. I'm visiting some friends I've known for years and years and years that I've never met in person. I've had a lot of help from a couple of YouTubers. I don't know if they want me to tell me their names or not. I'm nervous as fuck, but we live in an awesome time. You're talking about, I'm going to wind up being Tom Hanks. I watched some YouTube videos. I know how to get around Heathrow, I think.
I'm sure you get yourself around the airport. It's a matter of getting yourself out of the airport. Anyway, so Crystal Palace. Let me start here. Are either of you at all surprised that there hasn't really been any movement in the transfer window this month at all for anyone that I've really seen. I don't really think we're going to do anything, but are either of you surprised at the lack of movement or lack
Not
of
at
activity?
all. Absolutely not at all surprised. I wasn't expecting anything. I have switched from I think we, might be better off with another striker, but I know Ryan, you disagreed with that last time we talked.
I think we need to sell Eddie. Yeah, we don't really need a. I mean,
Sell our backup?
I
So who
think we
comes-
need. I think we need to sell Eddie. We don't need a striker return unless he's.
Are you talking about the summer, or
a
would you do
Declan
it
Rice
now?
type player. If we can get him now, yeah, but I don't think we have the money for it.
No,
But
I'm
yeah,
talking about no. You're talking about selling the backup, so I have to go into this a little bit deeper. That's what she said. I need to know, like, who's the backup if you want to sell Nketiah as soon as possible.
Well, I mean, we've played Kai Havertz there. We've played Trossard there. Everyone's talking about Martinelli playing there. I don't know how I feel about that, but if he could play there, we have backups. Maybe not on the Arsenal.com roster, but Arteta has guys that could play Gabriel Jesus' position. So I think we need to. It's weird. We definitely need help. We definitely need to buy people, but I also think we need to sell before we can buy. So I think our best bet is to definitely sell, especially players that give us a profit where we didn't buy them for anything, which to me is, your Eddie Nketiahs, your ESRs, your Reece Nelsons. I don't think we can get a lot for Reece Nelson. I don't think we should sell ESR, and I mean, it just leaves Eddie, who I think we could definitely get a pretty penny for, which a lot of teams are apparently after him. So
we always bump heads like this. Forgive me, BG. I have to ask Ryan a question. Ryan, we're going for a Premier League title, and you want the backup to be a kid? I don't understand that at all.
what do you mean? What do you mean a kid?
Well, all right, Trossard, but then you said, or maybe
Or
someone else.
Havertz, they're both mid. They're
Okay,
probably two
all
of the
right.
older people on the team.
All right, so now I see. Okay, see, that's why I asked you. Would you fucking relax for a second? That's why I asked you. All right,
I'm relaxed.
Trossard or Havertz. Fine,
Yeah.
that's your answer. For fuck's sake. I got to get used to saying that because that's all the British people say is for fuck's sake.
There are a few other things British people say that I don't really want to say on the air, but it's really fun to say it when you're over there. One word in particular that I know a lot of women don't like over here, but over there it's like nothing. Like they all run around and say it. It's fantastic. I love it.
Oh, I know what
I
you're
think
talking about.
I think you're talking about Australia.
No,
Yeah, whatever.
They
You
don't-
know what? All I'll say is this:
He's
it rhymes with a baseball term.
Yeah, I know,
why don't you
that's
just say
Australia.
I do, I do.
Australia
you just-
people use it like
listen. All right, in America you can't
Oh.
say that word, or the cops will show up to your door. But you can say, for people who don't know what the F you're talking about, see you next Tuesday.
Anyway, sorry, I had to dip away there for a minute. My oldest dog just couldn't seem to figure out where she was and where I was, so I had to get her situated.
Wait.
Anyway,
Glenn's
what did
here.
I-
What are you talking about?
Huh?
Oh, you said
No,
oldest
Glenn.
dog. I didn't know you were talking about Glenn. He's here.
First
Well,
dick
I mean-
comment by Ryan.
Oh, don't worry. We're getting there. We're getting to that part of the show. Don't worry.
Sorry, didn't mean for you to hear that. I should have muted that.
I kind of did miss though what you got, and she just got down. Oh my god, this dog. Sorry guys.
Maybe I shouldn't do this with my son. Oh, by the way, for those of you wondering where the F I am right now, I'm in my son's bedroom because it snowed here and like it's all melting all over the place. Doing a show outside would have been doing it like in a Slurpee. I don't know what the British equivalent of a Slurpee is. And my wife is working downstairs. So I'm in my son's bedroom, in case anybody's wondering why the fuck I have a SpongeBob poster behind me.
I don't think anybody was wondering. I don't think anybody's surprised at anything, Glenn.
I didn't even notice it was SpongeBob.
Anyway, I did miss the answers. I assume neither of you are really overly shocked at the lack of movement in the transfer window. I know, Ryan, you kind of expanded on that a little bit.
I'm actually shocked that the Spurs signed Timo Werner. I think that's like the only like real signing. I think it's a loan. I think with an option. I don't know if there's an option. I don't remember.
That reeked of desperation to me.
It actually,
I mean,
it actually does.
Yeah, Timo's been terrible in the Premier League, and
And
I don't. I mean, I don't really know. I haven't really delved into Leipzig because they're not really performing too well. I don't think he's tearing it up there either. So like, I was very confused by the loan.
It's almost like these German players that come to some of these clubs just get ruined. Well, come to our club from Germany, just get absolutely, they just ruin them for some reason. Or I mean, at least
I guess Sancho going back to Dortmund. So sorry.
I think it's just this talents generation, because I've seen some amazing German players in my lifetime.
I also think every league is just different. Like in the Italian league, the Spanish league. I don't think it's. I think we focus on the German league a little more because it is, I think, more of a transaction between the two leagues. Because like really, the Italian league doesn't really.
The Bundesliga is the only other league I watch. The Bundesliga is the only other league I watch. It's a lot of fun.
I think this just goes to show that even, we talked about Osimhen last week and, trying to bring him in. He's where Napoli, right? And, does what he, this is going to sound very redundant, does what he does for Napoli in Serie A translate to what we want to do in the Premier League in England? And this is my hesitation with buying players who, sure, are, I think, really the only two teams, maybe 3, 4, I guess, across Europe that I would say I'd look at a player playing for them and say, yes, that player I think would translate, would be Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern, or PSG. I just don't trust, I guess, Dortmund, but I feel like Dortmund is more of a like players that go there and then move, Bellingham, Sancho, Erling Haaland, those guys. It's like they developed and matured at Dortmund, then moved on, but they became what they are in England, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't trust Serie A at all. And I really don't.
I just want to say one more thing. I think, how the German national team is not doing well. I think that is a direct correlation to why we haven't seen a fantastic German player in the Premier League. I just wanted to say that. I'm German. I'm looking for any excuse.
Well, I mean, you guys both follow German football. Excuse me. I don't pay attention to anyone outside, really, of England. And I keep tabs on Christian Pulisic at AC Milan. And that's really it. As far as, across, on the continent goes. But you guys, I mean, Ryan, you're a massive Stuttgart fan. You're a massive German national team fan. So you guys can speak very well on the German thing. I wonder why it is, though, that it doesn't translate, because you look at, Bayern can win the Champions League. I don't know. I mean, wouldn't necessarily throw an Italian team in there to say they could, but Juventus for a while until they were basically found out with all the cheating and shit. But I don't know. I guess the moral of the story is I don't trust buying, especially a striker. I feel like defenders are a little different, but I just don't trust buying an attacking player from abroad unless it's one of the 4 teams that I mentioned. I'm not sold on Osimhen only because where he's playing right now. And I think, the way that he looks and playing there is, I think you have to consider the league that he's playing in. You know what I mean? That's why I just don't trust it.
Well, but if you take nationality out of it, the last striker we got from the Bundesliga was great for a few years until he became a dick. Aubameyang.
Well,
We also got him on his like tail end of his peak. Like we got
Yeah,
him
but
a couple
he was
years
good for a
ago.
couple of years. He was fun here, and then he became
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, to go by night, I don't know. I just
I'm going to throw this out there. Go ahead, Glenn.
I was just going to say, if you're expecting us to do something major in January, I think this is just my opinion. You're setting yourself up for major disappointment.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anything coming down the pike here this month. I was going to throw this out last week.
I actually, real quick, I wouldn't be surprised if the Onana links are true. I know, like, it was all like agent talk, but I wouldn't be shocked if we are actually very interested if we make a move on him. Only because if this Everton breach, financial whatever, is like a thing, and they're going to lose even more points, they're going to look to sell in January. Whereas if they look to sell at the end of the season when they're already relegated, they are not going to get as good of a deal if they don't sell in January. So I think there's like wiggle room there, but yeah, other than that, I'm hoping. I hate to say it, I don't want to single this player out, but we already mentioned him. I really hope we could sell like Eddie or like I don't know how true this is, but we've been linked with Cedric has been linked with a move to Besiktas. So I mean that would be nice too, but pipe dream.
I would rather, if I would be more open to entertaining the thought of selling Nketiah in the summer window. Right now, and I know your focus is on this, Ryan, but sometimes it doesn't sound like it. Premier League title, okay? Think about it now. Where are we right now? We could use some help in midfield. Our strikers are not performing. Partey's coming back. That's going to be like a major January signing till he gets hurt in February. I'm sorry I had to say that. He's pissed me off so much. And perhaps with the way that Partey, does the link up with the forwards, will unlock a few more goals from Jesus and Nketiah and Saka and Martinelli. So that's all I had to say about that. Oh my God, I sounded like Forrest Gump. Go ahead.
I mean, the only thing I'll say to that is I don't think Eddie is going to gain us any points whether he's here or not. So like I get what you're saying, but I'd rather have Trossard or Havertz there. I think they're better players than Eddie playing the 9 that we play, the way that we play. So yeah, I don't think chasing the Premier League title, chasing Champions League, I don't think Eddie is really it. And to further down the pipeline of selling him in January is a good time to sell to clubs who are not sure if they're going to get relegated or not. They're fighting to stay up. They're really like in the in-between phase where they're not sure what's going on. If they'll splash some money around just so they stay in the Premier League or stay in whatever league they're in, like a Crystal Palace, Fulham, maybe even like a West Ham team. So that's why I think selling Eddie in January is actually a very good move, and I think we'll get more. It also it depends. It depends how many teams are in for him and all that. But I wouldn't be surprised, especially for a striker. How many? I wouldn't be surprised if a team overpays for Eddie in January. Not saying it's going to happen, but a player of his caliber is going to attract interest from like a mid to bottom table Premier League club. So. Yeah, they'll throw some money to stay up for sure.
Well, the only other thing there is if you sell Eddie, you got to replace him.
I don't agree. I don't think we need to. That's what you missed.
Okay, so if
that's
Jesus
what you missed,
hurt,
BG. He says that Havertz and Trossard can fill in.
Glenn sounds like one of my parents. That's what you missed. You explain everything like word for word. It's like no, yeah, Glenn. No, I think he gets it. I think he knows.
Such a dick. I
don't know. E.T. Shout out to E.T. He's got a bad haircut? No, it's not.
You really think Trossard can fill in there?
I think him. I think Havertz better than Eddie. Yeah, I do. I
don't see.
I also think this is gonna sound stupid and not make any sense. I don't think 9 is our biggest position. Like I like the other 10 positions so much that like we could kind of put again Havertz there just for his stature. I think Trossard is not a winger. I think you need to play him through the middle. And that's 3 people right there. I think that's
So your solution for the title run, if you could do it, and I'm not judging, I'm just making sure I got it right. Sell Nketiah if we can. Trossard and Havertz will be an improvement as we go for the title as backups.
They've always been there, so I don't know if it's really an improvement because they've always been there. But I mean, ideally, what I'm thinking and what I'm hoping is when Thomas Partey comes back, hopefully, I mean, if we could sell him for some money in January, I wouldn't hate that. But then again, I would love to see him play this season. And if he can get meaningful minutes, I think he pushes rights out to the left 8. And I really think Arteta loves Havertz. I think Havertz is going to get a lot of playing as the 9 behind whether it's behind Jesus or starting instead of Jesus.
I understand your logic. I don't agree with it. That's all.
What you think? So then Havertz is going to.
I think that we need to
play somewhere.
I understand that, dude. I'm just saying, I don't expect any January big signings, and I'm kind of happy with the club I'm looking at right now, with Partey coming back, and I don't think Timber's coming back, but if it's a possibility, wow.
Look, all healthy. And you know what? Even without Timber, I'll take, because it's a catastrophic injury, I'll take him. I'll even remove him from this statement. But everybody else healthy, I like this team, and I think this team is good enough to win the league.
Me too.
I don't know about Champions League. I don't know about
I
feel like to win the Champions League, you need that one player that can just take over a game, but that will take over a game and will score goals. I think that's because I think Declan Rice can take over a game and really dominate the midfield. And I think Thomas Partey can do that. I think our midfield of, Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, and Martin Odegaard is arguably the best midfield in the world. I say arguably. I'm not going to sit here and say they are, but I would put them in the top 5. I'd probably put them in the top 3, all healthy. And I think between Partey and Declan Rice, they have the ability to dictate a game. Maybe not take over, but dictate a game. But are we going to get goals from them?
Oh, and I mean, they don't have to score. Just do those gorgeous passes.
No. You've got that at the end of the day. If you don't score, you don't win. Period. Now, can they create with an assist? Can they be that that player? Can they have the secondary assist that the assist or whatever however we term it? But at the end of I think that player that can take over a game and score goals, whether it be I hate using this example because it'll never happen, but a Kylian Mbappe, an Erling Haaland, and I'm only saying because we've seen him do that. That's the player that this team needs to win the Champions League. To win the Premier League, things have to just kind of fall right. I mean, we need to play much better than we've been. Let me rephrase. We need to score. I think, again, back to the whole, yes, I think we're playing well, but kicking the ball around and not letting the other team do it doesn't matter if you don't score.
Quick add on. I agree with everything you're saying. I think we can win the Premier League with the team we have now. For us to win the Champions League, we're going to need one of those youngsters like Martinelli or Saka to get sick and just be amazing. Then we'd have a shot.
Ryan, jump in right after this and tell me what you think. But I just don't think they're those players. I don't think either of those two. Of the two, I think Martinelli is the more likely of the two to do what you're saying. But right now, I don't see that either of those players have that trait where they can just dominate and go and score goals at will. I just don't. And I don't think that within the system that Arteta plays that it allows for that even.
Yeah.
Okay, that's subjective. I'm not going to argue with that. I disagree, but I'm not going to argue because that's subjective.
This is where, and he's been here, Arteta's been here, 4 years, and you guys I've lauded his eye for versatility and Edu's eye for versatility in players and being able to, go to get a Trossard who can play out wide, can play through the middle. I mean, he can play anywhere really across. If you want to go 8, 9, 10 across the front 3, or even or not 8, 9, 10, excuse me, 9, 10, 11. He can play anywhere across basically the front five is what I'm getting at here. And the way that we set up with the left 8, Martin Odegaard at the quote-unquote 10, and across the front 3, Trossard can play any of those positions. Reece Nelson is somebody that can kind of do that as well, Gabriel Jesus. But this team is crying out for that one player that just says, I have one job. My job is to operate in this area and score goals. That's my job. And that's what, and I think at the despite the versatility of all of these players, that's what we're missing. And I don't.
That's Eddie.
What's that?
But is
he good enough? But is he good enough to be that guy?
I don't. Honestly, if we give him one job and that one job only, I to win the Premier League, no. But I think to play better than he's playing and to play better than Gabriel Jesus and to maybe fix our scoring goals for right now, I don't know. I don't know. But again, I don't want to put. Yeah, it's just you're at that point you're changing the whole system. So I don't think we should do that.
I just want to say one more thing to stick up for Martin now. Hi, Stan. I just want to say one more thing to stick up for Nketiah. I got distracted because I read Stan's thing. I want to say one thing, stick up for Nketiah. In his entire Arsenal career, he started 11 games. I don't know why you're so down on him, Ryan. And Ryan, you don't have to freaking go into like a 5-minute explanation.
I was down on him.
I just don't know why you're so quick to get rid of him. That all right? Is that a better way to say it? Why are you so quick to get rid of him?
Money.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, ultimately,
that's the shortest answer he ever gave. He said one word. Ryan, I fucking love you. That's awesome.
I have a question for you. Do you think we could win the Premier League or Champions League with Eddie Nketiah as our striker?
Oh, if Jesus went down for the rest of the year?
No.
Oof.
Not even. No, not even.
What? Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
It would be hard.
If somehow, some way, Eddie Nketiah became the starting number 9.
And Jesus is not his backup. It's Trossard or Havertz. I think our chances would go down a little bit because Jesus is proven. I hate to say that with the season he's had so far, but Eddie is not. So I think our chances would go down a little bit with Nketiah.
So is that a yes or is that a no?
I wouldn't say.
And I love him. I have done a complete reversal on Nketiah. Just to be fair, people can go back to last summer where I'm in some Veterans Memorial Park saying, Arsenal, let the dude go. Stop leading him on. I've done a complete change from that.
I think that the chances go down significantly if he's the guy that's got to carry the load. Because I just don't see it. Even when he gets his opportunities, and again, part of it is system, I think. That the system doesn't allow for a traditional number 9 to operate the way that they always have. It just doesn't. And Alex, I agree with this. He doesn't connect the attack as well as Jesus. Skills, no, he doesn't have the skills that Jesus has. He doesn't have that. But he can. How do I say this? Because his skill set is more refined to the traditional number 9 role, whereas Gabriel Jesus is not. I don't believe that Jesus is a pure number 9. I think the versatility that a lot of these players have is a blessing and a curse. Because it's almost like they think, I said this last week or 2 weeks ago, they think too much. There's too much thought going into everything. And I think this is where, to quote our famous former manager, we need to play with the handbrake off, but the handbrake is up here. For a lot of these players in attack, it's like, well, as the real Ryan said last week, it's choreographed. It's what dance are we going to do in this movement to create the goal? And if the players aren't where they're supposed to be, then they start over again, rather than just try to let natural ability and instinct, because all of these players have those things. Let your natural ability and your instinct take over and drive the attack. Go ahead, Glenn.
I was just gonna say, but at the end, you made me let off the gas a little of what I was gonna say to you, because you sound like you're not happy with Arteta. I know you're not Arteta out, but I'm seeing a new trend on my timeline from people that want Arteta out, but they don't say that anymore. They say that Arteta is the manager before the manager, and you almost sound like you agree with that.
Nah, I think Arteta is still look. Fact is, he's only been doing this 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's still learning, and I hope that he continues to learn with us, because a lot of his ideas work, but a lot of his ideas, you put them together and it's like Voltron. Glenn, you'll get that. I don't know if Ryan.
I laughed. You know, I got it immediately.
You understand what I mean? Like, there's no, all of his ideas are going to come together to form ultimately the same robot, right? It's going to come together to form the same system. Sometimes you've got to change the system. So tactically in the buildup, you've got to start doing some different things to get a different result. And right now, we're insane. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And that's where we are right now in terms of scoring. We're not scoring. So, yes, the players are responsible, but so is Arteta. And I said this last week, and I don't mean to be a broken record, but part of his job is, if something isn't working, and sure, you look at the players, you say, they're not finishing. How is that Arteta's fault? It's Arteta's fault because he's not doing anything different to try to help them finish. And that's his job as a head coach, as a manager.
I disagree with you. And Ryan, I'll be quick because I'm dying to hear what you think about what he just said. You can. This is my main problem with the people that do not like Arteta is he can't head the ball in the net for the players. He can't. When his system is getting them into place to take these shots, and we're missing them. That's the way that I see it. Ryan, I'm sorry to step on you. What do you think?
No, I think, your tactics can only take you so far. I think he's taken us very far, farther than I think most of us really thought. I think we kind of need the personnel now. We need the personnel to take us up a notch. And it also doesn't help that the personnel that we have that like really shined through these tactics aren't playing well. So it's going to be interesting to see what we try to upgrade on, probably more than likely in the summer, and to see how long this little slump is going to last. Because I do think the tactics are good, but having that plan B, I think, is vital. We don't really have that. Like, occasionally he'll like throw Declan Rice in at center back and be like, see here, see what we want to do. And like, sure, I think he feels like we're light at center back, which I don't know, because I think someone like a Kivior would be a great center back depth, but he has him playing left back because we're short on left back. So I don't know. I wouldn't hate to see if we could bring in a Zinchenko type left back in the January, because I think we could potentially get one on our cheap. I don't know who though. I don't know who's out there. I don't know who's that player. But no, I'm not really anti-Arteta, but he needs to improve on his substitutions. He needs to, and I don't necessarily say substitutions. He needs to improve on, which is
underutilizing players like ESR, because I would agree with you there.
He needs to, if we want to win the Champions League, if we want to win the Premier League, he needs to trust more players. It's just simple as that. He needs to trust more players. And right now, he might trust like 12, maybe 13 players. So it's got to change. He has to change. Where you can blame the personnel all you want, you need to start trusting Reece Nelson. You re-signed him for a reason. You have to trust ESR. You gave him the number 10 for a reason. Same with Vieira. I think Vieira was bought for a reason. Yes, he's been hurt. I know, but Tanner, your screen's black. Sorry, he texted me. Tanner texted me he's frozen. Your screen's black, like last show. Yeah, he needs to trust Vieira, and like I think Vieira had that really good game second half against Fulham. I think he had like a goal and assist. I'm not sure, but yeah, he hasn't really done anything since then, and then he got hurt. So yeah, to me, it's all about it's all about trusting players, and I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Vieira's coming back. He seems to be healthy in Dubai. Thomas Partey's coming back soon. Yeah, I mean, we're halfway through the season, so he's got to show something.
I love ESR. I'm playing EAFC. I'm doing an Arsenal season, and his player demanded that he be put on the transfer list, and he has this really angry red face next to his name. I'm like, no, you're not going anywhere. You're staying here. I fucking love him, and I hope that Arteta figures it out because we need to see ESR get some minutes.
Yeah, I really think we haven't seen the best of him, so I would hope that Arteta could trust him in some of these games and really hammer away where he best fits in this team full of, I hate to say it, but in this team full of 11 midfielders. And he's back. Maybe.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. That's
how bad does it sound?
You just sound like you're a little too far away from the mic, like me, because I'm stuck in my son's room and I can't get close enough to the mic.
Glenn, you're fine.
But your thing is like a big hanging penis. You should be able to tell.
This computer is driving me nuts. I don't know why it keeps doing.
Oh my God, what's wrong with me?
This thing where it's freezing on me. I don't even know if I can highlight comments on here. Stan actually had a good comment. I want to see. Yep, I can. Nice.
I'll put the comments on, otherwise I get distracted.
Stan, I saw you put out a tweet saying this, I don't know, maybe a week or so ago. And I don't wholeheartedly disagree with you. Arteta signs the players. He also picks the players and gives them the tactics. Out of 25 of Mikel's signings, I can only identify 5, maybe 6 that have worked out. Stan, list the 5 or 6 in the chat for me so I can put that up. But
I could think about that.
And Stan, while you're doing that, have you gone to the dark side of Arteta out?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't believe that either. But what do you guys think about that?
I'd have to see his signings. I'm a visual guy. I need to literally see it and be like, oh yeah, that worked out, that didn't work out. I would maybe give Arteta a little bit more credit. Again, I might look these signings up, but I think he's done really well. I think, and it's funny, you go back and you look at the All or Nothing documentary. I think it was Adu and Josh Kroenke were sitting down at the table talking, and they pretty much said, I think it was Adu or whichever one of them said it, says he needs that, and they pan over to Arteta talking to the players. Once he gets that man-to-man, that personality with the players, he's it. He's going to be the guy. He's going to take us forward. The sky's the limit for him. And I think it's getting better, but I think it's getting better with the players he already trusts. I think it's getting better with the Kai Havertzes, the guys that he signs for a reason and that maybe went into a little and he's gone. That went through a little slump, but now, he had that really important goal, and now Arteta's grabbing him to have him, cheer the away fans. So, yeah.
Okay, I just want to say one thing, and then I'll let BG, have his say on that if he wants to. I was watching an NFL game the other day, and the Kroenke's team was playing a playoff game, and they got beat. And I remember feeling just a teeny bit sorry for the Kroenkes. And then I realized 2 years ago, Kroenke's team was in the Super Bowl, and we all were wishing horrible things upon them because he was such a dick owner. you know what? He turned out to be an all right guy. He wants to win. And that was just 2 years ago. We were all so pissed. We were hoping for a Super Bowl loser because it was our owner. So I think in the 2 years, we got an outside chance at the Champions League. We're right there for the Premier League title. It just makes me crazy when people go to extremes when we hit a cold snap. That's all. That's all I got to say.
Well, people
Forrest
think
Gump.
grass is always greener on the other side. They think like someone's gonna fix it. They think, and that's why I think a lot of people bring up, and I talked about him last show, Girassi from Stuttgart. People think like, oh, he's the guy. We got to bring him in. Well, they want to bring him in because he's playing out of his mind in the Bundesliga, and just because he's playing out of his mind there doesn't mean he's gonna be playing out of his mind here. He, I don't want to think of it like this, but he could come over here with his high scoring form and doing what he's doing, and we could infect him. We could be like, oh yeah, like we're playing like shit. We can't score, and then it might rub him the wrong way, because he's on a good run of form. And I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's a great player, but bringing in someone that's confident in doing his thing on his team isn't necessarily going to make us better. It's not going to infect us to all of a sudden scoring.
Comment on this, BG. All right, and I know I certainly, if I was a student, I wouldn't want BG, Stan, or Ryan as my teacher. Because you guys don't remember the Mustafis of the world, do you? Not every transfer is going to be a big hit. I don't know what the success rate is, but look at effing Manchester United. They can't get shit. They just throw money at every problem and everything F's up. They have the manager I heard a lot of Arsenal fans wanted. He fucking sucks. You people get so crazy. All right, so not every transfer worked out. Holy crap, when do they?
Let me ask you both the question, Ryan. I've asked you this question before. No, that's the weed. No, that's the weed.
Oh, okay.
One thing I really want to say real quick is, and to Stan's point, I really want to go. I really want to go through these transfers because I'm curious. Maybe not right now, but we'll have to talk about this later. But so if it's 5 out of 25, that's 1 out of every 5 signings works out. I don't think that's great. I don't think it's a good track. I get what you're saying, Glenn, but 1 out of 5 working out isn't, especially for a club that again wants to win Champions League, wants to win Premier League, wants to be the creme de la creme. 1 out of 5 is not good enough. It just isn't.
But if all right, you want it. All right, you know what? That's fair. And I saw that Stan pointed out Tamayasu and Partey are never available. That's also fair. But look at our depth. Okay, I don't care what transfers are hitting or missing right now because we have fantastic depth. And if we were full strength, my God, and we're not even, and we're like rated the 6th or 5th best football team in the world. Calm down, everybody.
But here's the problem with the depth, and it's not the depth itself. The problem, I agree that we have the depth. The problem is the manager who refuses to play them.
Okay, we're going in a circle now. Okay.
Well, but I agree. Like I liked us giving Reece Nelson a new contract. And I'm like, yes, this should indicate that he's going to play. Like he's going to get me. Maybe he doesn't start. He's not going to be your all of a sudden your new left winger. He's not going to be that. But maybe he gets a half hour. Maybe he gets 20 minutes. ESR, same thing. You can have the 25 best players in the world. If you have a manager who refuses to play 6 of them, or refuses to play, I guess, ultimately 14 of them, then what good is having them? Because what he does, again, and we hit on it last week, how pissed off we were that he makes a substitution at 87 minutes. Huh? How on earth is that giving anybody a chance to influence the game? Game's going to be over in 8 minutes, and then you're going to fall back on he had 8 minutes to influence the game and he didn't. Huh? What? How often? You can probably, the 3 of us on both of our hands combined could probably count the number of goals that have been scored in the first 10 minutes in the history of the Premier League. I'm exaggerating a little bit. But you understand my point. Like, you warm up, you grow into the game, right? You do. That's just the way that it goes. It's the nature of this sport.
Ooh.
So giving somebody 8 minutes off the bench and then saying, well, you didn't do anything. Well, no shit. You gave me 8 minutes. What am I supposed to do? So the depth is great. And I agree that I think we have the team top to bottom. But he's got to play these guys. And if he's not going to play
I have
them,
the list of Arteta's signed players. There's 29 of them. I don't know if you want to break them all down really
let's
really
not
quick.
let, you know what, we won't break them down, but let's just give a thumbs up or a thumbs down on whether or not we think they worked out. 29 signings. Stan, you still with us?
That we're gonna disagree with. I'll wait till we get to the players because
let's just thumbs up, thumbs down.
All right, before you do this, because you just want a thumbs up or thumbs down, I have to add this, okay? Because you can't just look at it as they're never available. Tomiyasu came out of nowhere. It took me a month to learn how to pronounce his name. I never heard of him before. Yes, he gets hurt a lot, but where the hell did he come? We found him. Martinelli. He came out of nowhere. Okay, right, go ahead.
We get there. Okay.
Everything's just thumbs up or thumbs down.
The oldest or the newest?
I would say let's go oldest to newest. Okay. So first signing to most recent signing.
Pablo Mari. I would say no. It did not. I think
I haven't seen enough of him.
Pablo Mari?
What is
he's not on the team anymore.
Oh, he's gone?
Wow.
All right. Okay, Glenn.
I don't know.
No. To me, again, like some of these, I kind of have a little caveat. To be fair, I think Pablo Mari was not brought in to be a starting center back. He was brought in for depth. He was brought in to kind of patch the wounds and to be a backup center back, and that's exactly what he was. So I could see someone arguing saying he worked out. I'm going to say no, he did not work out though. Next is, the person, the man of the hour for the day, anyways. Cedric Suarez. Suarez, I think that's his name. I'm going to say he definitely didn't work out. Did not. I forget. It's crazy. Willian. Definitely no. Definitely no. I'd say no.
It's a nice try. How do I do that with my thumb? How do I do that with my fucking thumb? It was a nice try.
You do with your thumb. Nice. I don't know what that means.
Not every nice try. All
right, so we're 0 for 3. 0 for 3.
Not every shot at the basket's gonna go in. This is stupid.
Next is Gabriel Magalhaes. We're gonna say that worked out. Yes. So 1 for 4 here. Okay. Runnerson. No. Cool. Next. Now this is one of the people. Next person is Thomas Partey. So Stan says he doesn't work out. I'm going to disagree. I think he has worked out. I think the thing with working out and not working out, it's not black and white all the time. You can't. It's not a yes or no answer. Like I kind of alluded to with Pablo Mari, he was brought in to be a backup center back, and that's what he was. Did I expect more from Thomas Partey? Yeah, maybe. But he's never played a full season under Atletico Madrid. They never played him every game, week in, week out. So this is kind of different for his body. I think he's the most unique midfielder in the world, and he can be one of the best midfielders in the world. But yeah, he's hurt all the time, which sucks, and he is getting older in age. But I will say he worked out because he kind of transformed our midfield and kind of gave Arteta. He kind of almost was the. What's the word I'm looking for? He was like the first one. He was the guy that like really.
He's the cornerstone.
Or he's the alpha. He's like the when they make like robots. He's the first one. He was the guy that this was kind of made around. So I would say yes. I don't know if you guys had thumbs up or thumbs down.
I'll just say this about Partey. I agree with Ryan. If I have to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, I'm giving a thumbs up because we are a much different team without him in there, and we are a much better team with him in the lineup. But to Stan's point, I totally understand, Stan, why you're saying what you're saying. If he's only available for 30% of the games he could have played in, I will not argue your point. This is, it's simply opinion. And availability is the best ability. He doesn't have that. I
Oh,
give him a
sorry.
thumbs up. I agree with Ryan. Go ahead, Glenn.
I want to say that Stan and I have some common ground. But the only thing I give him a thumbs up because when we got him, he did not have a significant injury in his entire career until he came to Arsenal. So that's why I give a thumbs up. Nobody could have known that was going to happen.
I mean, Glenn, if anything, you're kind of arguing for Stan. They didn't have an injury, but since he came here,
No, well, no. But if
you'd say
you
it
guys are
worked out.
doing this, you guys are doing this, loading a sniper rifle for Arteta, and I'm offering why we got him in the first place, and you can't blame Arteta for that. That he's only played 30% of the games.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Matthew Ryan. I mean, he was for a couple months. I have a feeling one way or another, but like we didn't need him. So like to say he worked out or didn't work out, I don't even know how I would say NA, not applicable. He didn't play enough. We didn't use him. I think he played like what 2-3 games for us. I think he did okay. So workout.
Who was after Willian?
I don't know.
Gabriel Magalhaes.
I'm doing this in protest.
Okay, so I'm running.
I could be packing my bag right now.
Shut up, Glenn. You're going to London for 5 days. Suck it up.
It's actually not. I saw 29, but it's actually not 29. Some of these are repeats because like we brought them in on the loan and then we kept them. Anyways.
Okay.
Martin Odegaard.
Oh, of course.
Say, yeah, worked out.
And people forget he went back to his old team, and a lot of people said, "Oh, good." And then when we got him back, they're like, "Oh, big deal, we got him back." Those people have disappeared too. What a vanishing act that was. I'm
writing these down, by the way, because this is a good idea for a show.
Okay.
Keep going.
Real quick, Nuno Tavares.
He didn't work out. I saw the skills, but by the end of his Arsenal career, by the end of his career, I was laughing because when he had the ball, the crowd was yelling, "Don't shoot!" So I give him.
The only thing I will say is, and I'm saying no right now. I'm saying no. We haven't sold him yet. Now we bought him for $8 million. I'm not saying we're going to get $8 million for him, but in the crazy world that someone pays more than $8 million, I'm inclined to say it worked out just in the fact that we gained money.
We turned it into a profit.
We turned it into a profit. So like, I don't know how you can't say it didn't work out if we gained money from it. But again, I'm definitely saying it did not work out.
Okay.
Makonga. I think it's the same boat. I think if we could make money off it, yes. But definitely no. He was one of the players I had such high hopes for. You know, being captain of a Belgian team at such a young age. I think he was 19. Yeah, man, confidence is everything to him, and yeah, I hope I saw him play one game for Luton, and he actually played pretty well, but whatever. Ben White, definitely yes. I think if I remember correctly, because I think Stan alluded to it not working out. Maybe I'm wrong, Stan. If I am wrong, I apologize. But yeah, I definitely think Ben White worked out 100%. Aaron Ramsdale, that's an interesting one. I'm going to say yes, it worked out. Glenn, you think so
it worked
too?
out. Oh, absolutely worked out.
Now, this is going to be the same thing for Partey. Tomiyasu, I'm going to say the same thing. I think
worked out.
We brought him in. I actually, it's a little different
I love
than
him.
Partey. A little different than Partey in the fact that we kind of like it was very late last minute signing. We thought like, all right, yeah, we brought him in for depth. I think he's the best. I mean, Saliba, I'm sure, and Gabriel will have a discussion here, but I think at least 100% fullback wise, he's the best one-on-one defender we have. But again, yeah, he needs to play more, and I completely agree with Stan, but I definitely think we paid like about around 18 million. This is all in euros, right? 18.6 million euros. Yeah, I think it worked out. Austin Trusty. This is an interesting one in the fact that I don't think we paid to bring him in.
We made a profit on him, so I would give that a thumbs up.
We made a profit. We brought him in from from Kroenke's other team in the MLS, Colorado Rapids, the team he owns in America. And we had no intention of playing him. We were never playing him. It was for him to get assimilated in the England culture and then to sell him to an English club. We did that. We made a profit. So I'm inclined to say that's a positive. I guess I wouldn't say worked out. I would say more or less a positive signing. In the fact
I'm putting him in the same category as Matt Ryan.
Yeah. That's fine. Okay. Next, Fabio Vieira. I think for me right now, he is not working out. But
Man, that's a
there's
tough one.
I've
so
seen
much time.
flashes. Thumbs up.
I think
I have to
there's
say
so much
no.
time with him. I think we need to. It's definitely an unfinished product. I mean, most of these signings are unfinished products right now. But right now, I'm gonna say he has not worked out.
I will just say this. So for those that don't like him and would like to see him go, just hope he doesn't go to a Premier League club because he's got something. He's definitely got something.
All right. Next is Matthew Turner. Again, I'm gonna say I don't want to say worked out. I'm gonna say it was positive signing. We made money. We bought
Yeah, I
him for
agree.
5.9 million, sold him for over 8 million.
Yeah, same Matt Ryan and
Can you
Trust
go a
me.
little
for me,
faster? Because I'm
Um,
going to have to leave soon.
Maybe stop talking and I could go through this a little quicker. Maybe, yeah, no, okay, cool. Marquinhos, I'm gonna say no. We just recalled him from our loan against. I don't want to. I'm gonna definitely mispronounce their name in France, but Nantes.
Nance or
It's
something,
definitely
whatever.
definitely
Am
a
I
Spanish
allowed to
version
do
of that,
this?
but whatever.
You
Or is
can
it
do. You
just
can do
thumbs
it.
up
You
or
can.
thumbs
No,
You
down?
can do it.
well, yeah, you can. Thumbs down for me. Gabriel
Yeah.
Jesus. I'm gonna actually pair these two together. Gabriel Jesus and Alexander Zinchenko. I'm gonna both say yes, in the fact that, and I think Glenn said they did. I'm sorry, Glenn, if I'm putting words in your mouth. I think Glenn said he doesn't really think they worked out for us. I think they transformed
No,
our
no,
our
no.
11
If you
into something
remember, we were
different.
talking about
And
Zinchenko versus Kivior, and I said I'd rather see Zinchenko play with 2 sprained ankles than Kivior play healthy.
well, that's absolutely stupid. But anyways,
Yeah, and
I
then
think
Kivior headed it into our net, so shut the fuck up.
We didn't even get to roast you.
yeah.
I know.
Well,
Well,
yeah, you could.
let's do this 110 person
We're-
list. Thumbs up, thumbs down with Ryan
5
introducing
more,
everyone for
Glenn.
2 minutes.
Because Glenn doesn't have the attention span to do all these players. That's why. And I also think too, a thing that's undervalued is I think with Zinchenko and Jesus, I think they were brought in as players that have won it. They've been there. They've done that.
Yeah.
We need that experience to to infect the club, to infect the Sakas, to infect the Martinellis, who are just stars, but they need that experience. They need that. Leandro Trossard, I'm gonna say worked
Yes.
out.
Yes.
I think he's a great player. I don't want. We're almost done, Glenn, but I know we're gonna have different answers with this. Actually, you know what? I don't think we will. Kivior, I'm gonna say he did not work out. I'm hoping that maybe he stays with us. We buy a left back and he plays backup center back.
I'd like to see him sent out on loan.
Yes,
I'd
okay,
like to see
good.
him
But I'm
sent
gonna
out on
say
loan.
he did not work out. Tanner, you think he worked out? Didn't work out?
I hate. I'm gonna say he didn't, but I really hate that I'm
Yeah,
saying
there's
that.
a lot of players that you can't really. I'm gonna say he just didn't. We don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna say not worked out.
This is all I got.
Jorginho, Glenn, shush. We're almost done. Jorginho.
Jorginho,
I'm gonna
thumbs
say
up. I like him.
yes. And they play different positions. Everyone says, "Oh, we're missing Xhaka. We're missing Xhaka." Jorginho is Xhaka. He's the same person. Leader on the field, leader off the field. I thought he was a terrible signing. He surprised me. He gets the armband now a lot. I'm gonna say he worked out. Kai Havertz. I'm gonna say, see,
It's too early to tell, so
it's
I'm
too
giving it a
early.
thumbs up.
We bought him for so much money, but as of right now, I think he's currently working out, but I think that could definitely change for sure.
I think we got a good deal.
I'm saying no, but that could change.
Okay, fine. Julian Timber, we can't answer, but damn,
Right.
I think he's going to be such a good player. Declan Rice, yes,
Of course,
obviously, and last but certainly not least, David Raya. I don't know how to answer this because I think this whole goalie situation was not needed. I think again the reason we bought him is because he was Arteta's number one target. When he wasn't available, we went to Ramsdale. Now Raya became available, we bought him. We're like, no, we want him. Let's buy him. There was no need to buy Raya. Now, is he better than Ramsdale? Yeah, the stats say he is. I don't know how I feel about it. But I don't know. I don't know how to answer this.
I'll put it. This is how I'll answer it. you guys can agree or disagree with this. If it's a loan and we don't buy him and we keep Ramsdale, then I'd say, fine, it worked. We had two of the best goalkeepers in the world for a year. If we buy him and we get rid of Ramsdale, as of right now, it's a wash. And I say, no, it hasn't worked out because we just bought another goalkeeper for $30 million who, I mean, the margins between Raya and Ramsdale are pubic hairs. We're I mean, literally, like the stats say that Raya is better than Ramsdale by 1,000th of 1 point. I mean, when you look at the numbers, Raya's numbers are better, but they're better by fractions. Like,
but when he was at Brentford and Ramsdale was here, he was by far the best goalie in the Premier League for like 2 or 3 straight seasons.
I think you guys are looking at it at the wrong angle. Just let me say this because I know I'm running out of time.
Well, it's the last player, Glenn. So
when we had Turner, I thought that was one of our weak points if Ramsdale got hurt. So as much as I don't like the goaltender controversy,
that's the weak point anywhere, Glenn. If
I particularly didn't like Matt. I thought Matt Turner was too unproven if something happened to Ramsdale. So at the time, I was for it, and I'm going to stick to that because I would be worried going for a Premier League title with 4 months to go if Ramsdale got hurt and Turner had to guide us to that title.
So what are you saying, Glenn? Thumbs up on Raya?
Thumbs up on Raya. As much as I hate
Ryan, what are you saying on Raya? Thumbs up?
I'm gonna say
I'm saying thumbs down.
So my gut is telling me thumbs down, just because we didn't need him. I don't understand. Like, I get it. He was the number one guy, and the stats were there, but like, I don't know. I just think Ramsdale. I valued his culture. I value what he brought to the club, and I value what he brought as far as culture. So yeah, I'm reading Glenn's comments now. Glenn, excuse me. I'm reading Stan's comments now. So me and Stan might have to get on a show together soon and talk about this Raya Ramsdale thing, because I'd love to. I don't really. I just I get why it's such a tricky situation, because the plan was there. I understand why we bought Raya, but to me, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I don't think with Ramsdale was broke. I know some people would think it was, but I don't think it was.
So let me give the final tally here. We all agreed on 11 players working out. We thought 6 players did not. We agreed that 3 players were not applicable, not enough time, so on and so forth. That was Matt Ryan, Trusty, and Matt Turner. And then the rest are disagreements between the 3 of us. So 11, so 25%. We agree that 25%, 6 out of the 25, so it's a little less. But 6 out of the 25 did not work out. Those 6 that we agreed did not work out. Pablo Marie, Cedric, Willian, Tavares, Lukonga, unless I missed something. And there was one more. And Kivior. Those are the 6 that we agreed did not work out, unless I missed something. And again, not going to go back. This is a very interesting conversation. And Stan, this is well done, sir. This is a great talking point. And there goes Glenn. And I guess he's off for his trip. He's leaving early. He's going to get himself to the airport and just hang. Yeah, just hang. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Did we piss him off? I wanted him to be here because I did want to roast him a little bit. Anyway, it's a very interesting conversation, and one show would not be nearly enough. We'd have to do a 2-parter to go through all of these players and have the conversations. I don't know that there's much of a conversation to be had with the ones that we agreed didn't work. Pablo Marie, Cedric Willian, they didn't work, period. They didn't work. Pablo Marie brought in to be a backup center back, and I agree with everything you said, but to me, it didn't work. The David Raya thing, I understand Glenn's point with as he was, kind of famously saying at the beginning of the season, single point failure. When you looked at the team, the weakest link was the backup goalkeeper. So it's like, what do you do if Aaron Ramsdale gets hurt? But now, and Stan, I'm going to pull up one of your comments here. If Ramsdale worked out, why can't he get a game? The answer to that question is because Mikel Arteta plays favorites. They're neck and neck, man. David Raya is not that much better a goalkeeper than Aaron Ramsdale. He's just not. I think Ramsdale's a better. Look. I'm going on record. I'm a Ramsdale guy. I don't want to sign David Raya. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's needed. And I think it's detrimental to the dressing room in terms of mentality because other players are sitting in there thinking, you go out, you buy another starter in that position, you say, but he has me and whoever is behind that player, and you say, but he just brought in this guy. There's not even there was no competition. This was simply Mikel Arteta, Ryan, as you've said, he wanted David Raya to begin with. He wasn't available. Then when he became available, he went and got him. He just rates David Raya higher than he rates Aaron Ramsdale, but he went and got Ramsdale because that was the next best option that he could get. So that's why Ramsdale can't get a game. It's not because he's not good enough. It's because Mikel Arteta thinks that David Raya is better. Now, his opinion is the only one that matters. But I don't know of anybody that's going to sit here and tell you that, yes, has David Raya won us a game this year that Aaron Ramsdale wouldn't have? No, absolutely not. I'm not going to sit here and say that Ramsdale would have won the Fulham match or the West Ham match. But David Raya has not earned a victory for this team this year that Aaron Ramsdale otherwise would not have. And ultimately, that's all I care about. Wins and losses, man, because that's what makes the world go round in this business. So that's why. And okay, I mean, Stan prefers Ramsdale. And you're right. I mean, it's ultimately it's up to
and to I guess go back to Stan's point, which Stan, I would really like to I'd like to have you on this show and we can
Stan.
discuss this.
Well,
Stan,
will.
I might have to chat up Ray, and I might have to invite myself on the Arsenal fan circle because I also miss you guys. That was always a good time. I'm gonna have to come on there because it's definitely a fun conversation to have. Because I would definitely like to have it. I think it'd be fun on either show or on both shows. Fuck it. We'll double dip. I don't mind double dipping. I'm George Costanza of Arsenal podcasting. I love double dipping my chip.
Stan, we'll talk after the show. We'll set something up. And the three of us will get in on this.
But to his point is where he goes, oh, how could Ramsdale worked out if he's not the start, if he can't buy a game? There are players to where we have bought. I mean, I guess Ramsdale's probably the best example for this, where we bought him, he worked out, he got us to a really good area, we got us to a really good spot. He did wonders for us the season we came in second place, and then he got replaced. I mean, players can work out and then just taper off, like an Aubameyang, for an example. Aubameyang worked out for us for a while, and then towards the end, he was kind of toxic to the dressing room, and we had to kick him out and kind of cut him loose. Just because it ended poorly, would you say it didn't work out? I don't know. I would say it worked out. So
well, let me take that question real quick and put a different spin on. Well, not a different spin, but let me give you an example. I guess it's probably a bad example. Never mind. I was going to say Brady leaving the Patriots, going to Tampa Bay. They didn't win a Super Bowl his last 2 years in New England. Do you say it didn't work out? But you got six. I mean, but maybe that's a example.
Bad. You're right. You're right. It's a very bad example.
Yeah. It's a really excuse me. It is actually. It's a really good. It's a really good topic. In fact, you know what, Stan? I'm hoping you're still in the chat. Why don't we look at the next international break, the next where we have a week off or something,
and then I'll be on the next Arsenal fan circle. And
let's throw this in there for that week where we don't have a game coming up that weekend. We can break down, or we could go the following week where we didn't have a game the previous weekend. Either way, where we have a week off, let's throw this show in there because that would be this is a great topic, man. And getting into the meat of this and breaking down some of these players, a two-parter for sure. In fact, we could even do a collab with Arsenal Fan Circle.
Yeah.
Do half of it,
like
do
I
half
said,
of it here, do half of it over there.
Yeah, that sounds like fun, actually. Yeah.
I don't know.
Now you have to go to both shows. You have to watch both shows.
Right. Yeah,
I
that's
like
what I'm
that.
saying. Like, yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
let's do a half and halfer. We do it on Fan Circle. We do half of these players on Fan Circle. The other half we'll do over here. Stan, we'll talk for sure.
Such a good art. It's such a good discussion, but it's like also too like, and I'm very picky and like, you have to really dig into the weeds because again, like some of these players, like Trusty, we knew we brought him in and he was never going to play, and we sold him for a profit. So it's like, yeah, I guess he didn't work out because he didn't play for us, but like we made money. We made money off him. So like, it's a positive move for Arsenal. And to me, at the end of the day, as long as it's a positive move for Arsenal, then I'm gonna always say it worked out. So, and didn't Trusty win us? Yeah, he won us the MLS skills competition. So, I mean, definitely worked out.
Definitely worked out. Well, we didn't get a chance to roast Glenn before.
You wanted to roast him. I didn't. I was gonna give him all my wish list of what I wanted from London.
I just wanted to I don't care if I'm not going to say anything now that I wouldn't have said to his face. So I will say that I do worry that he gets himself so high that he gets lost and he doesn't know how to get back to where he needs to be.
He's got Google Maps on his phone, right?
Nah, but it's different over there. I mean, things are not in London. Things aren't what they are in New York. They're not what they are in Pittsburgh. Like, he's asking me about what time the bars close, and I'm like, 11 o'clock. Most of them close at 11 o'clock on weeknights. A lot of them close at midnight on weekends. And he's like, what? So I'm afraid like he's going to like leave his hotel, go try to find a bar, and he finds one that's open, but it's like 15 miles away. Not 15 miles, that's exaggerating. But like he finally finds somewhere that he could go in and have a beer, and then he can't get back to his hotel, and he's stranded. I do
I'm
worry
sure he'll
about
have
it.
so many stories for us when he gets back.
I do really worry about it. And I worry about him even getting on the plane. Because he told me he told me what he's doing. Yeah. I wanted to message you over the weekend and be like, I gotta tell you, man, like I'm a little worried right now about him.
I think he'll be okay. Like you say, he's meeting friends. I'm gonna give him the benefit of that. I think he'll be fine.
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt too. It's not gonna stop me from worrying. It's not gonna stop me from worrying. So anyway, Glenn. Stan, I'm sorry. Stan, we'll talk and we'll get this ironed out. And I like the idea of doing half the list here, doing half the list on Fan Circle. So we'll have to figure out. We'll do like a Thursday. We'll do early here.
We'll talk. Like Stan said, he brought it up a couple weeks ago on the show. So we'll have to talk to Ray, see what they talked about and what they didn't talk about, and kind of figure it out. I'm not gonna worry about it now. But yes, I definitely want to do that.
Daniel, I promise you, it's colder on the East Coast right now than it is over there. We've got a cold front. It's cold for you, I assume. I mean,
yeah, it's cold. I don't know what it's like.
The wind chill here tonight is going to be negative. The wind chill in Pittsburgh is going to be -11.
I don't know. It's cold here. I can't give you a number.
It's
cold.
It's cold. Like we're talking like single digits, Fahrenheit. By the way, we're in Fahrenheit, so I don't know what the.
I think I'm like in the teens.
We're single digits, and then it's actually carry some
20. We're 20. Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. It's gonna be 15 tonight.
Oh my God! In London, Daniel, it is. This is telling me it's 35 degrees in London right now. I'd murder someone. Oh boy, we're getting shut down. I would not murder someone. I would give a lot of things for it to be 35 degrees here right now, though.
We're talking Fahrenheit, Daniel, because in America we don't have to conform to the world and what they do.
Right, yeah.
I don't even know what a meter is. Celsius. What's the one? Kelvin. I don't even know. But yeah, so 35 degrees. I don't know what that is in non-cool people temperature terms, but 35 degrees is it's cold. It's not. It's not. That
It's
cold.
cold, but right now compared to what it is here, it's balmy. It was negative 27.
Oh yeah, minus 13 when it's standing. Stan, you're in fucking all the way up there.
That's actually crazy that it's that cold up there because usually Vancouver doesn't get that cold.
It doesn't.
So 35 is 2 degrees Celsius. Yeah, because freezing. So freezing for us, which is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, freezing is 0 degrees Celsius. So, but it's weird though, because like for it to warm up, like 25 degrees Celsius is like, it's hot. Like that's like 90 for us.
Yeah, sure.
I don't, it's so crazy.
I was taught like how to convert it in school. Yeah, no. Don't know, don't remember.
Yep.
I look at my phone. Oh, this is how hot it is.
Right,
This is how
exactly.
cold it is.
Yep.
Cool, awesome. All right. Is it gonna rain? Is it gonna snow? It's gonna be cloudy.
It gonna
All right,
rain.
yeah, cool. Yeah. That's it. That's all I need. That's all I need to know. Like I mean, within reason. Obviously, you said 90. I would know it's hot out. But if you gave me like a 50, 60, 40 like number, like, oh, is it hot or cold out, or is it raining or something? It would take me a second. I don't know if I could get it right away. I just,
Yeah.
I'm a phone kid.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get out of here. Didn't quite get to roast Glenn the way.
I mean, I don't really want to preview Palace other than the fact that we're gonna win.
Let me ask you this real quick,
and
then we'll get out of here.
Fire all cylinders. Yeah.
Make this your final thought. How many goals? Let me ask you this first. Is there a number of goals we can score in one game for you to say we're out of the scoring slump, or is it multiple games? Multiple games.
Again, it's exactly what you said. It's a scoring slump. I think we're all just like out of form, and like you can get into form, you can go out of form. Like it's easy. It's as easy to go into form as it is to go out of form, especially at a professional level.
Ooh.
So yeah, I think it's a mix of so much shit. But yeah, if we beat Palace 5-0, like I'll be happy and I'll be like, okay, like it's definitely like reassuring, and I'm like, it's calmer because I'm pretty sure my last tweet during a live Arsenal match was we're never gonna score again. I'm pretty confident that we're never gonna score again. And like watching us play the last couple of games, I was like, we're just never gonna score. Like I'm prepping myself for the end of the world. Like we're just never gonna score. I'm sure once we kick off, I'm gonna be like that. Like it's like my mantra, and I'll just keep saying, we're never gonna score. We're never gonna score. And Megan was laughing at me because I said it while watching the game. I couldn't tell you how many times I said it. It felt like almost every other minute. So it'll be interesting. But to me, it's just about finding those connections, which we're finding, but we just need to just put them in the back of the net. And like I want to see that from everybody. Now, if we win 5-0 and we have 5 different goal scorers, I mean that'll maybe feel a lot better than if like someone has a crazy freak game and like Saka puts in 5 or Saka puts in 4, Martinelli puts in 1. But yeah, no, I agree. I think that's what happens, and I've always said this when I'm playing, and like I've always had this mentality that if you're not having trouble scoring, it's like I just need one. Once I get one, the floodgates open. I've always said like just open one. They're that's kind of how you psych your team up. You go, we score one, they're done. That's it. It's over. They just need to mess up once. You let us put the ball in the back of your net one time, we're gonna keep coming. We're gonna keep putting that ball in the back of your net. So hopefully we have that mentality. Hopefully once we score one, it'll happen. But we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff from the chat today. Everybody was very, very engaged, especially in this last conversation. Alex, and I have no idea how to say your last name. It looks Greek, but Alex was here. Dempsek was here. Stan, Daniel Shaw, Danny the GFB was in there. I said Demsec. I got all. Yep, I got everybody that really interacted. Renat came in towards the end there. Yeah, Daniel Shaw, like I said, he came in as well. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for interacting with us. We appreciate it. Certainly stay tuned for stories from Glenn's trip. Hopefully for him, that's going to be a lot of fun. I know he's really excited about it. So hopefully he has a good time. Hopefully we win and give him a good memory to bring home with him. So yeah, Stan, talk to Ray and Gary for us. Let's try to figure this out and get this nailed down. And you and I will be chatting here in a little bit as well. And Ryan obviously will be a part of that as well. So yeah, that's all we got. Hopefully we can bang 3 or 4 past Crystal Palace on Saturday. The 7:30 starts or 12:30 starts over there, man. They murder us for some reason. It's crazy. Like we don't show up at 12:30. So I'm a little worried about that just because of a trend. I don't know why, but it just seems to be a trend. But yeah, that's going to be it for us. We will be back next week, recapping Crystal Palace, looking ahead to Nottingham Forest, hopefully talking about a good old-fashioned proper ass-kicking of the Eagles. And then we'll get Glenn back involved hopefully next week, and he can tell us all about his trip. And it'll be all good conversations. So once again, thanks everybody in the chat. If you would please drop us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, interact with the video in any way you can. If you're not subscribed already, please make sure to do so and pass it on to your friends. Get them to subscribe as well. We'd greatly appreciate it. If you're watching on the replay and you've lasted this far, again, we thank you very much for that as well. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. If you want to know when we're live, click the bell icon on YouTube there so you get the notifications that we are live. That is all we have for you this afternoon. We'll be back next week. It's been good footy talk. We'll see you out there.